And we bring you back to Andrews Hall, our final half of basketball tonight on the men's and women's doubleheader as the Norwich University cadets lead the Mount Ida Mustangs by 5, entering the second half by a score of 26-21. Tanner Acebo, Jesse Navarro with you. And Jesse, one thing that I noticed looking at the stat sheet from the second half, cadets with a 4-point edge in points in the paint, 16-12, despite the fact that we said that Mount Ida had a little bit more size than Norwich coming out of the game.
Definitely, that also surprised me too. Norwich has to take full advantage of their speed over Mount Ida's big men, but give a credit to Norwich. Macklin only 3 for 8 shooting right now, not getting production that Mount Ida wants for him. But Dujon has been stepping up for Macklin, but Macklin needs to step it up the second half if he wants to get the away victory over Norwich.
Cadets will start the second half with Gladden, Warden, Tuller, McDonald, and Havudis.
Gladden needs to get going. Only 0 for 2 shooting. 2 points only from free throw line. He needs to get going. And so does McDonald.
Out there for Mount Ida, Ethan Dujon, Nathan Bueno, Trace Macklin, Tyrese Singletary, and Kenny Jean. Their same starting 5 from the start of the game. They begin the second half with the possession. That's Bueno to Macklin. Now into the corner, Dujon. Back to Bueno, back to Dujon. He's trying to call for a screen, and instead Macklin gets open for him. Down into the corner for Jean. Double team. Swallowed up. Havudis came away with the ball, but they call a jump ball. Possession arrow does favor the cadets anyway, so they get the possession.
I think the biggest thing in the second half we need to watch out for is turnovers. Norwich with 8 turnovers in the first half. They can't have another 8 turnovers in the second half if they want to come away with this victory.
Havudis hands it off to Gladden. Gladden holding up top. Now back to Havudis, who made the long run baseline. McDonald spots up for 3. That spins out of the rim. Up the court comes Bueno. Working on McDonald. Now it's over to Macklin. Macklin down to Dujon. Dujon up top. Jean. Bounce pass inside through the hands of Macklin and out of bounds. Nice idea that time by Jean. Macklin did have some space in the paint, but couldn't connect.
Norwich 2 for 11 shooting at the 3. I think they need to go away for the 3-point for now. Attack from the inside, then go back out. Because right now the 3-point is not the answer right now for Norwich.
Gladden to Havudis near side. Tuller, free throw line extended. Back iron, no good. There for the rebound was Dujon. Up to Bueno, back to Dujon. He had an open look for 3, pulled it back. Bueno around a man, bounce pass down low, and again they turn it over on a bounce pass, trying to get it into the paint. Back-to-back turnovers on bounce passes from the Mustangs. See if the cadets can capitalize on this one. Tuller over for Warden. Now Havudis rifled it down to Gladden. Turnaround 2, gets it to fall. There's his first field goal of the night. Up court, Dujon floated it down. A great feed. Not getting the lay-in to go was Jean, but a great pass from Dujon. Havudis.
They're giving Dujon his space. They need to tighten up on Dujon.
Gladden into the corner for Warden. Fakes the pass down to Tuller. Instead goes up top Gladden, and now Havudis. 17:55 left in the second half. Havudis to McDonald. Inside Tuller. Warden was making a baseline cut, but Tuller couldn't get the ball to him. Tuller has to put up the shot. It's short. Macklin there on the rebound. And another possession where the cadets can't cash in on a turnover in the second half.
If you're Macklin, you got to use that big body frame that he has and attack the paint to get to the free throw line.
Macklin does just that. Drew a lot of contact, but that goes uncalled. Still almost got the shot to go off the rim. Warden lost the handle once and twice, and away comes Bueno. Tuller right there, and Tuller fouled him hard. On the arm, it'll be 2 for Bueno. First free throw from Bueno, no good, making Tuller's foul a good one. It's just the second on Evan. First on either team here in the second half. And Singletary comes to the bench in favor of Michael Joseph for Mount Ida.
Mount Ida right now is just not able to take advantage of the charity strike, only 2 for 6.
And that time Bueno missed it again. Gladden up court. Goes to his left for Havudis. He hands it off to Gladden once more. And it's just back to Havudis. Tuller making a cut through the paint. Havudis to his left. Now goes to Warden. Gets it back. That's not attacking right now. 11 on the shot clock. Havudis. McDonald. Head fake. McDonald. Drive. Tough shot. Gets it to go over the extended Macklin. And it's 30-21.
That's just look. You hate to say a good shot. Also, lucky one for McDonald. Mount Ida played good defense on him. They were on him the whole time. He just was able to make it in somehow.
Ball deflects off of Havudis on the far sideline. It'll stay with the Mustangs at 25 on the shot clock. Bueno will leave the game as he's replaced by Andre Dowell.
Mount Ida only 9 field goals made up to this point in the game.
This is Dowell over to Macklin. Long two is good.
Let's see if he can get rolling with that shot in.
That was just a long two. Scoreboard initially had it as a 3, but it's been adjusted now. It's 30-23. Warden had McDonald cutting. Instead finds Gladden. Now Tuller had an open look for 3. Head fake. Havudis. He'll spot up from long range. He buries it. Nothing but net. 10-point lead for Norwich. Their largest lead of the night. 15:45 to go. Macklin bounce pass over for Jean. Jean now finds Joseph, who's driving to the rack, and he gets the lay-in. Good read right there by Joseph. Saw an open lane and took it. This is Tuller. Nearly stripped by Jean. Kicked it out. Warden thought about the 3. Finds Havudis instead. Now Warden. He's going to drive. Tough layup, no good, but he's fouled. First foul on the Mustangs.
They calling that a Macklin?
It looks like they are, as that'll be his second. And Warden to the free throw line. First free throw is up and good. Second free throw good as well for Warden. Long up court pass. Dujon has it. Stripped away. Loose ball. And Warden grabbed it. Called the timeout. He fires up the student section over there as well. Timeout called by Norwich. They're going to take a 30-second timeout. 15:08 to go in the second half. Cadets on top by 10, and they will have the possession when we reset here.
I think the next 5-7 minutes are going to be critical to Norwich as the last game, of course. You know, lead has been safe for Norwich this season, and the next 8 minutes will dictate what are we going to see in Norwich. Which side of Norwich are we going to see? If they play like they did against Suffolk, the Mount Ida is not out of it, not by a long shot yet. A couple of stops, a couple of rebounds, a couple of calls go their way. It'll be Mount Ida's game to win.
Cadets led by as many as 16 in that second half against Mount Ida. Havudis. Gladden. Now back to Havudis. Tuller into the corner. Warden had to jump to catch it. Got it right back to Havudis. Back to Tuller. Head fake. Cross court. Gladden. 14 on the shot clock. Way up top to Havudis. Started to go to his right, now goes to his left, finds Warden. Warden, baseline. Stepped on the baseline. And it will go back to the Mustangs. Cadets only had 3 seconds left on the shot clock, so if Warden makes that pass to McDonald, he's got to release it there. Joseph, Macklin, back to Joseph. Joseph runs right through McDonald, bounce pass down low, wide open for the lay-in is Dujon. 35-27. 14-15 to go. Tuller, want to drive. Turns away from a triple team, hits Warden, Pavudis. He's driving. Now Tuller for three. Back iron, no good. High rebound, yanked down by Joseph. Joseph slows things down, gets by Gladden, who attempted to steal. Pulling up for three. Spinning out of the rim was Dowell. Offensive glass. There's Gene, and he gets the putback.
There's that size advantage coming into play right there for Mount Ida.
35-29. Vudis. Tom McDonald lost the handle initially, gets it back. Rifles it down to Tuller. And that's a tough one against Macklin.
Yeah, I feel like that should have been a no call right there.
Yeah.
But you can see Mount Ida focusing their attention to Tom McDonald. Gary Gladden has been non-existent, and McDonald's been carrying the workload. Mount Ida is challenging Gladden and the rest of the team to step up.
That's a huge foul on Macklin. That's his third. He has to now leave the game. He goes to the Mount Ida bench.
Can Norwich take advantage?
Tuller finds McDonald on the inbound. He's going to pull up for three, and that is way long. Up court comes Dujon rather, blocked away. Back come the Cadets the other way. Havudis, the layup. And a frantic 15 seconds of basketball. Cadets come away with 2 points. Into the game was Patrick Wenz for Macklin. Also back into the game is Bueno. This is Bueno. Pressure from McDonald. Couldn't get around him. Picked up his dribble. McDonald all over him. Did find Dujon. Dujon floats it down low. Taken away by Havudis. Backside help. Ward, left-handed dribble. Stripped, but he's fouled. That will be on Dujon. It's just the third foul on Mount Ida of the second half. Dujon will come to the bench as Tyrese Singletary comes back in. Second foul on Dujon. Havudis gets separation and missed on the pull-up. Tipped back by Warden on the rebound, but right into the hands of Gene.
Even with that missed shot, he has 17 points in this game. Even though that, Mount Ida is still focusing their attention on Tom McDonald, which I think they need to start focusing on.
McDonald does have 7, an offensive foul called on Gene as Warden drew it.
McDonald's having a hard time getting rolling. I think Mount Ida needs to focus their defensive attention to Havudis. You know Gladden and McDonald are streaky shooters. I think you focus it on McDonald and just hope Havudis. And you just hope McDonald and Gladden just.
Havudis and Tuller both come to the bench as Preckle and Evans. Also McDonald came to the bench, so Preckle, Evans, and Brown all in for Norwich. Preckle thought about the three, pulled it back. Now Brown, Evans, and Preckle. Bounce pass to Gladden, 15 on the shot clock. Gary wants to go baseline. Gary couldn't get it off the iron. Wentz had the rebound, got to Singletary, who tossed it up to Bueno.
Basket's just not going in for Gladden tonight.
Gene, travel. So Gene travels. He is subbed out as well as Dowell.
He's not too happy about that call.
Joseph comes back into the game as well as Macklin. Brown inbounded and Preckle laid it in.
Miscommunication, Mount Ida. No one knew who they're guarding, and Norwich took advantage.
Yeah, absolute lack of communication as Brown Found Preckle wide open. 10-point cadet lead.
Macklin getting physical.
Was fouled by Brown.
I don't know about that call. Brown and Macklin, they were both being physical right there. I think you should have just let them play out that one right there.
And again, we saw Macklin pick up his third foul on what we both thought should have just been a no call and just a little bit of a bump down low. Pass over for Macklin was underneath him, but a nice recovery by Bueno. He goes cross court to Singletary. Singletary driving on Preckle, and he's fouled by, there were 3 cadets in there hacking away at him. We'll see who picks up the foul.
I think they're going to give it on.
It's the third on Norwich. They give it to Preckle. At the line for 2 is Singletary, but it also stops the clock as well. Still 11-11 left in the first half. He hits his first free throw. Tuller comes into the game for Warden. And back into the game for Mount Ida, Jesse Nelson takes the place of Patrick Wenz. Second free throw from Singletary off back rim, no good. Evans comes down with the ball. Gladden now dished to Preckle. Evans, Gladden now on the near wing. Gary floated down to Evans, who was open, but the pass was too high. Now he comes back to Gladden with 15 on the shot clock. Spin move from Gary in the lane for 2. Great move by Gladden. 11-point cadet lead. We approach 10.5 minutes left. Bueno over to Macklin. Pressure on him from Tuller. He goes back to Singletary. Now Singletary over to Joseph. 15 on the shot clock. Joseph, floater in the lane, no good. Who did hit last? Tuller. And he'll stay with the Mustangs. Bueno inbounding beneath the hoop. Macklin's going to hoist the tray. Hits it, a huge three-pointer from Macklin. And Mount Ida going to take a timeout. They're going to take a full timeout, and we'll take it as well in the Norwich Broadcast Network. Back after this.
The Hilltop Inn of Vermont is a must-stop for Norwich University parents, friends, or alums heading to an exciting visit to Central Vermont. Conveniently located off Exit 7 of I-89, the Hilltop Inn features 80 spacious, clean, and comfortable rooms, refrigerator and microwave, an indoor heated pool, and a fitness room. Feel free to make use of their DirecTV satellite system with HBO, wireless high-speed internet access, the business center, and complimentary local and long-distance telephone access. All of that at the lowest and best valued rates in Central Vermont. Negotiated rates start as low as $49 plus tax per night for a single or $55 plus tax for a double. And group and team rates are also available. And as a holiday special bonus, book before the end of December and receive a $25 gift card. The Hilltop Inn of Vermont. Call 802-229-5766 or connect via email hilltopinvt@aol.com. Make the Hilltop Inn of Vermont your next best destination.
And we're back with you from Andrews Hall on the campus of Norwich University. 10:18 left in regulation of this GNAC contest between Mount Ida and Norwich. Cadets inbounding as Norwich brings back Havudis, Tuller, Brown, Evans, and Preckle. Havudis brings it over half court. Hits Preckle on the near wing. To the legs dribble. Tuller. And now Havudis, they complete the swing to the left. Havudis double team. They find Evans up top. Preckle. Brown. Great ball movement from Norwich, but no open shots. Havudis with 10 on the shot clock.
He needs to get a shot off.
Preckle. Brown. He's got an open look for 3. He hoisted. He buries it. Second huge 3 hit by Brown this game. He hit the buzzer beater at the end of the first half. Cadets back on top by 11. Bueno has to go back to Dujon. Now Macklin. Holding. Tries to throw it down the hit off the bottom of the rim, it looked like. way too high of a pass, and Havutis comes away with it.
Wasted possessions. If you're Mount Ida, you can't afford wasted possessions at this point in the game.
Cadets see if they can capitalize here. Evans goes to Havutis. Brings it up toward the top of the key. Now Tuller and Brown. Brown goes back to Tuller. Head fake on the three. Got Macklin moving. Another head fake, and he couldn't get the mid-range jumper to go. Evans battling in there as well as Preckle. Coming away with it, though, is Joseph. Joseph nearly stripped a third time by Preckle. No shot, as Preckle is going to get hit for a foul on the floor. No continuation call there, and with 8:50 left. Second foul on Preckle, fourth on the Cadets. Each team now with 4 second-half fouls. Bueno over to Macklin. Now Dujon. Bounce pass, Macklin. Tough shot, buried it. Havutis slowly brings it up court, but if Macklin starts to hit shots like that, this lead can evaporate for Norwich if they cannot find success on the offensive side. Havutis wants to drive it himself, and he just got nailed. They're going to hit. The foul is on. They said 23. There's no 23 on the court. It's on Kenny Jean. So Havutis will shoot 2. First one is good. That's the second foul on Kenny Jean. Gladden checks back into the game as Preckle comes to the bench for Norwich. Havutis hits the second. Back to an 11-point Cadet lead. Bueno to Macklin. Hands it off to Joseph. He lost his footing, but is still able to get the ball over to Jean. And now back to Bueno. Floated it back down to Jean. Lost the handle. Brown had to go through his legs. Jean gets it back. Bounce pass down for Bueno. And there's a foul down low. It's going to be on Tuller. McDonald checks in for Evans for Norwich. And Singletary back in for Joseph for Mount Ida. They'll inbound beneath their offensive basket. 8:02 left in the second half. Dujon. Bounce pass to Macklin. Now it's Bueno. Macklin, top of the key, hoists the tray. Back iron, no good. It sails over the backboard, and Brown collects it right by the baseline. Havutis hits McDonald. Tom, baseline 2, rolled off the rim, no good. Loose ball momentarily, and Dujon finds it.
We're getting that critical point in the game for Norwich right now. Usually this time Norwich has been known to just lose its lead, lose its cool. Can they keep composure at this time?
Macklin holding, working on Gladden. Macklin lost it. McDonald comes in. Macklin somehow found it again. Bueno in the paint, swatted from behind. Macklin a tough shot. That's no good. Swatted down by Tuller. And 4 on the shot clock. 3 put up by Singletary, no good. Somehow Dujon got the rebound. There are only 2 Mount Ida players beneath the basket, and he got the rebound. During that play, Singletary looked back at Macklin, not knowing the shot clock was about to expire.
Not aware.
And had to just hoist up a 3. But in the end, it worked out for the Mustangs. Foul down low off the ball.
You can see Mount Ida right there on the bench. They're about to go big. They're set to go big on this.
That foul is on Bueno. It's just his first. Macklin comes out. Jean comes out as well as Singletary. Joseph back in. Alston back in. McDonald trying to drive over to Brown instead. Also back in for Mount Ida. Wenz. Havutis, Brown, open take, baseline, layup, no good, and rebound yanked down by Joseph, dribbled it off his own teammate's foot, but Bueno, quick recovery, snags it. Bueno trying to dribble around. McDonald called for a foul off the ball, and I think that's number 7 on Norwich.
Number 6.
Number 6, so it's just the first on McDonald. Both teams with 6 fouls, so any foul either way.
Gonna start hitting 1-on-1 situation. If you're Mount Ida, you haven't been doing so well for a charity strike. That gotta concern the coach.
Mount Ida 3 of 8. Norwich 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Back into the game for Norwich, Jimmy Warden for Brown, as this three-pointer put up no good by Dujon. Tuller with the rebound.
Neither team are able to hit three-pointer well tonight, Tanner.
Tuller nearly walked with it. He regains his composure. Gladden the 3. That rattled out, and
You got a foul?
a foul. And a push foul on Bueno beneath the hoop. Norwich is going to take a timeout here. Leading by 9. 5:39 left in regulation.
If you're Norwich, are you, with this time 5:39 left, are you feeling confident about yourself, knowing what's happened the previous few times in this month?
You're going to think there might be some lingering doubts, but you got to try to put all the losses, actually any game, behind you. So the Cadets have had some leads evaporate this season. The next 2.5 minutes are huge for Norwich. Also, it depends on the foul situation. Mount Ida just called for their 7th foul, so the Cadets will shoot free throws for the rest of the first half. If and when Norwich picks up their 17th foul, will be a huge factor in the next 5.5 minutes. At the line, it looks like it'll be Havutis, or all 4 Cadets are in a circle right at the free throw line. It'll be Tom McDonald. One and ones for the Cadet senior. And he doesn't hit on the first one. Spins out of the hoop. Dujon with the rebound.
Huge possession for Mount Ida right here.
Joseph up court. Joseph wants to drive to the rack. Blocking foul called down low on Warden. That's the 7th Cadet foul. 10 seconds after the stoppage for the 7th Mount Ida foul.
Mount Ida has been struggling from the line tonight, but they need to convert. They want any chance to win this.
And it's Michael Joseph at the line. A little bit of a delay as Nick Havutis dries off the floor with a towel. And Joseph for 2. Back iron on the first. Joseph can't hit on the second. Loose ball. Pulled down by Havutis. Almost lost out of bounds. Spiked it off of the Mount Ida defender, and the Cadets will keep the possession.
Great awareness by him.
He spiked it off of the leg of Wenz. Cadets did lose 4 seconds on the shot clock. Tuller holding out high. Now he finds Warden. Warden, a little bit of indecision, goes over to Havudis. Warden, Tuller, 8 on the shot clock.
Tommy wants the ball.
Havudis gonna pull up for the 3. He hits it. A huge 3 from Havudis. 12-point Norwich lead, under 5 to go. 4:50 left. Dujon tosses it up top. Joseph to the legs dribble. Taking on Gladden. Joseph to the lane. Kicked it back to Wentz. Out to Dujon. Driving. Tough shot in the lane. No good. That hits off a Mount Ida player in Alston. And it will go back to Norwich. I think Havudis might have got hit in the face with either the basketball or a limb on that last play. He's kind of opening his eyes wide, waking himself back up. He has it. Over to McDonald. Tom goes cross court trying to find Gladden. It was swatted away by Dujon, but he couldn't keep it in bounds.
Macklin coming back in.
As well as Bueno. And Kenny Jean for the Mustangs. 4:15 left. Havudis down to Warden. Tough look. He was blocked. They get a jump ball call. Possession arrow in favor of the Mustangs. They'll inbound. It'll be Macklin to put it in play with 4:11 left. Michael Joseph. Warden nearly got a hand in the passing lane. Macklin to Bueno. Dujon head fake on the tray. Back to Bueno. Now he tries to float it down, and McDonald just stepped right in and took it away. Not enough on the pass. Attempted down low for Dujon. Now the Cadets can slowly start to milk some time off the clock if they take their time in the offensive zone.
But they also have to make sure they make it in.
Warden tossed it back, and it was swatted away.
And avoid careless turnovers like that.
Jean couldn't get the layup to go. Macklin spin around, tried to draw contact. He did, but he couldn't get the shot to go. Macklin will go to the line. Foul is on Havudis. Macklin shooting 2. Again, the story of the game to this point has been on Ida failing to connect on free throws. Macklin hits his first. They're now 4 of 11. Macklin, 2 of 2. 10-point lead, and I think Tuller just glanced that one right off of Jean on the baseline. Ball retrieved now from the far corner. Now the referee's talking over there. Couldn't tell you what about. Tuller into Gladden. Gladden floated it right back. Great play by Gladden. He saw the pressure defense coming. Knew Tuller would be wide open. McDonald hoists the 3, and it's a big one. 52-39.
What Norwich needed real badly.
3:10 left. Out for Joseph. He drives, and he's fouled. Now again, you come down at one end, you hit a big 3, but then you allow Mount Ida to put points on the board with the clock stopped.
But if you're Norwich, you know Mount Ida has been struggling, so you have that little confidence right there that you don't know if Mount Ida can convert.
Joseph hits on the first. They've had much better success in the last 5 minutes from the free throw line as they had in the whole game. As Joseph goes 2 for 2. Ida takes a 30-second timeout, trailing by 11, 52-41. 3:05 left in the second. And they're now 6 of 13 from the free throw line after they think there was something like
3 for 10.
2, yeah. So they've turned it around. They'll need to hit more free throws if they're given the opportunity.
Think about it. If they made 3 or 4 more free throws, it's a different game right now.
Cadets have been rock solid, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. The only miss came from Tom McDonald on the front end of a 1-1.
If you're Norwich, you gotta milk some time off the clock, smart possessions, good ball control, make the simple, easy pass. Don't get too fancy with it.
Tuller will inbound for the Cadets, as on that last play was Gladden picking up his third foul. Tuller, Havudis, Warden, Gladden, and McDonald. Havudis gets around 4 defenders. Cadets have numbers up, but Gladden does the smart thing and just pulls it back and milks a little time off the clock. Don't need to force anything right now if you're Norwich. Warden for McDonald.
How about Gladden? After being in early foul trouble in the first half, he's done much better in the second half, staying out of it, and that's really has helped Norwich.
Great discipline from Warden. He had an open look for 3, but he didn't even attempt a shot. McDonald drives. Savudis' shot is blocked. Loose ball, tip to the sideline. Tuller got it. Fires it to McDonald. McDonald back to Avudis. Cadets can milk more time off the clock.
Mount Ida, when do you start fouling?
Exactly. Doesn't look like they're going to here. And McDonald wide open, the finger roll. Tom McDonald makes the cut. He might not have put up huge numbers this game, but he is scoring at key times for Norwich. Joseph driving, lost the handle, gets it back. Under 2 minutes, 1:55 left to play.
If you're Mount Ida, you can't afford to be wasting time. You gotta get and go, and get stopped.
1:45 left now. Joseph drives, shots up and good off the glass, and the Mustangs going to take another timeout here, trailing once again by 11. 1:43 to go.
I think they need to foul right away after this. They need to extend this game as long as possible. But the key thing is their three-point shooting has not been there tonight, which they need at this point in the game. Their free throw shooters, other than Macklin, no one has been consistent on the free throw line tonight for them.
Looking at the numbers, Mount Ida 2 of 11 from long distance. You couple that with some shady free throw shooting. They're now at 7 of 14. And that's a lot of points being left on the board right there. Shooting 35% from the field as a team. Cadets shooting 42% from the floor. And you got to think here that they're going first for an instant steal off the inbounds. No steal. You got to commit a foul.
I think you try to go for the instant steal, 3-5 seconds, try to get a steal. If you don't, foul them right away.
Cadets broke the press last time with relative ease. Head coach Ben Davis going over some final preparations with his team.
This is time for Norwich to stay strong, finish strong, no time to break down with 1:43 left to go.
Davis, an 06 graduate of Wheaton College, in his first season at the helm of Mount Ida. Tuller inbounding. First off, someone's going to get open. It's Havudis. See if they try to get the 10-second call. Cadets break half court. Got to think of fouls.
That's what I'm thinking.
Fouls coming instantly, but nobody's fouling.
Right there, Macklin's just wondering what's he should have been done. Macklin's not too happy about this.
Well, of all the players on the court, I don't think Macklin was the one that was supposed to take that foul.
I don't think so either.
So now it's fourth. So he takes one for the team here. 1:27 left. Tuller at the line. 1-1s.
Now Macklin got to be real careful right now.
Tuller connects on his first. Big free throw coming here for the junior out of Chelsea, Vermont. Rolls it in off the front of the rim. 13-point lead, 1:25 to go. Mustangs need points in bunches. Joseph picked up his dribble, goes down, and a shot gets blocked by Tuller. Jean put up the shot. Tuller swatted it away. McDonald goes backwards to Gladden, but he has a wide open lane to dribble it up court. Dribbles through contact from Dujon, and Dujon picks up the foul. Gladden, 1-1s once more, as that is just the 9th team foul on the Mustangs.
Well, it looks like here Norwich is gonna take this one right here. A well-needed need win for a team in that 3-game losing streak.
Gladden's first free throw. Good.
Now they're on the road for the next 2 games. Let's see if they can steal one on the road.
He will go to Anna Maria and St. Joe's of Maine as Gladden hits on his second. Again, St. Joe's defeated Norwich by just 1 point earlier this season here at Andrews Hall, 51-50. Macklin hoists the 3. That's no good. Front of the rim. Gladden comes down with it, and you got to think that no foul is going to happen, but then Joseph steps up and fouls Havutis. I think the bench was calling for no foul as well. 57.4 seconds to go. And Havutis at the line now for 2, as that was the 10th team foul on Mount Ida. First free throw good for Havutis. Into the game for the Mustangs as McDonald comes out. 5'7" senior guard from Bennington, Vermont. Number 3, Dennis Brooks. Into the game from Mount Ida. Calvin Claiborne, the senior, as well as freshman Luke Bibber, 6'3" forward from Damariscotta, Maine, who just hits on his second free throw. The Cadets have hit 60 points, 57.4 left. It's a 17-point lead. Bueno brings it up court, and Dujon wants to go baseline, and Tuller blocked another one. Tuller 2 blocks in the last 40 seconds. Bueno to inbound. 10 seconds have expired off the shot clock. Finds Dujon here in the near side corner. Now it's Bueno driving, and Warden swatted away. Gladden comes up with it. Floats it up for Tuller. Tuller to the rack for the dunk! Evan Tuller throws it down.
I hyped up the crowd.
Tuller had the open lane to the hoop. The flourish. 62-43 Norwich. And we get some more subs. Tuller will come to the bench as Brown comes in. Also coming into the game for Norwich, 6-foot senior from Mansfield, Mass, number 4, Rich Anderson. He takes the place of Gladden. Andre Dowell back in for Ida. 6'5" freshman center Kyle Laughlin also in for Norwich out of Williamstown, Vermont. Top, this is Nelson. Gets it over to Bueno with 15 to go. Shot clock is dead. And Dowell hoists the tray. That's no good. Havutis comes down with it. 6 seconds to go. That's going to do it. A big conference win for the Cadets. They'll take it 62-43 on a night where they welcome their new teammate Jimmy Giroux, the team impact player. And now Jimmy's going to make his way through the handshake line. Norwich improves to 4-11 overall, 2-6 in the GNAC. Mount Ida falls to 4-11 and 2-7 in conference play. And Jesse, this is exactly what the Cadets needed, both on the men's side and the women's side. A nice conference win at home.
Definitely, as we get approaching to the final month of February, both teams are hopeful trying to get at least realistically a 7th A seed in the conference tournament. I feel like this weekend is going to dictate both men and women what exactly is their shot at it. If they can get wins on both sides this weekend, I think they have a shot at getting at least an A seed for the conference tournament.
And as you mentioned, on the road for the next couple of games are the Cadet men. Women will be here Thursday night, 7 p.m. tip, 6:50 broadcast time as they take on the Middlebury College Panthers in their final non-conference game of the year. I'd like to thank our camera operator, Kevin Hosey, and Jesse Navarro for providing color commentary tonight. Again, the Cadet men and women sweep the doubleheader over the Mount Ida College Mustangs, picking up 2 key wins in GNAC conference play. Until Thursday night, I'm Tanner Acebo saying we'll see you next time.